Oh, well, hello there, people. How are you doing? It's been a long time. Haven't seen a lot of these faces, a lot of these names. It's been a real long time. Can't believe.
Hello?
Yeah, look at that. Look at it. We brought you friends. Aporia, Cata, Ozuri.
Hello.
Is this thing on?
Perhaps those who don't know you, maybe you should introduce yourselves so that they can meet you.
Ozuri, please kick us off.
Yeah, I am Ozuri. I have been in the video game industry for a really long time, about 25 years. I started out as a GM on EQ, working on the PvP server, and then worked on a bunch of other games, worked on Star Wars Galaxies and PlanetSide, and then went to work at Namco Bandai and worked at Capcom for a while, and worked on Street Fighter and Tekken and Soul Calibur and Pac-Man. And anyway, so I've been around the games business for a long time. Really passionate about what I do. Now I mostly help small developers figure out how to be big developers. And that's how I found my way here.
Nice. Cata.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a nerd, and I like doing nerd things, and I'm excited to be making a game for all you.
Hey friends, it's Chris, Aporia. I'm just incredibly excited to be able to share with you guys everything that we've got going on at Holodoth. It has been an incredible time, and I think you're all going to be really excited with what we have to share tonight. Really happy to be here.
Hell yeah. Guys, I want to say ahead of time, I do have my notifications and everything turned off for subs and all of those fun things. We are live on YouTube, on Kick, on Twitch. There are ads that will play, as you just saw, while the intro was playing. If you'd like to avoid seeing those ads entirely, you can follow that link I just sent out to go over to Kick. If you'd like to see less ads, but not quite as many ads, you can go over to YouTube. However, all questions for the Q&A will be parsed directly from Twitch, so we just like to make sure that if you are looking to ask questions, that's where you're doing it from. I'd also like to put out there that we're here to talk about the wonderful game that is Hollowed Oath and all of the amazing development that these guys have done in such a short friggin' period of time. I've seen things that you guys haven't, and it blows my freaking mind every time Aporia shows me this mechanism that they put in the game, that mechanism that they put in the game. I can't even wrap my head around how fast they put this thing together. It's just stunning. And frankly, you guys should be really proud of all the work that you guys have done. It's stunning and it looks great.
I appreciate that. It's it's surreal, honestly. To give an anecdote of like how it's been. So we're trying to put together some of the footage that you guys are going to see tonight. We're trying to put it together, and Castle was in game helping me make some of the footage, and Valor and everyone. And like, I'm just sitting there. I end up just farming mobs, and they're like, "So are we gonna do the next? Are we gonna do the next shot now?" And I'm like, "Oh right, I'm not just playing the game. Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, man, that's it. It's insane to see. And I got to tell you too, the other thing that is awesome is each one of you guys are wearing so many hats, right? Like you guys are each performing more than one duty. Some of you guys, Aporia, are doing like trying to maintain the website, doing the lore, trying to herd all the cats. Cata freaking, I know damn well we don't unchain you from the chair to break away from the coding and getting into that fun stuff. And then Ozuri, man, the mystical man that you don't hear him, but his work is noticed. It's seen, not heard. Big things.
Oh, I love hearing it too. Getting to work with Ozuri has been just an absolute treat. He's got so much knowledge, and there's so much to learn, and I love it. I love it.
Absolutely massive asset, right? Like, just you couldn't ask for more.
Well, it's very kind of you guys to say, as though I'm not sitting right here. Yeah, no, it's really fun to work with a team that just gets it, because it's really hard to train that, and it's really hard to teach it, particularly when you're talking about online services. It requires a certain a touch. It requires a finesse, an understanding. I don't know really how to describe it. We used to call it the vision in the old days, but like, it requires something, and you got to have it or you don't. And it's pretty obvious these guys do. And so I wanted to hitch my wagon.
That's awesome. Aporia, Cata, Missouri, before we break into some of the more deep stuff, is there anything you'd like to say? Anything that you'd like to get out there? Let the people know?
Yeah. I did not prepare anything like that, but there's definitely something on my heart. I just want to say thank you. Thrilled to have everyone here tonight, to have over 4,000 people in Discord already. To have such a wonderful community here, because they want to be here, because they believe in what we're doing, and it's amazing. So I'm incredibly grateful to all of you. This is literally a dream. So thanks for being on the journey with us. I appreciate it.
I appreciate how freaking clear you guys are, the transparency. I got to tell you, I think we have to actually hold Aporia back to hide stuff more than we have to like beg him to let things out.
That's fair.
I joke, and you definitely ruined Christmas, right? Like, you're definitely the guy who you buy the presents in October and you've shown them to her by November. Yeah.
I am that guy.
Me too. Don't worry. I'm the same way. But when you have something this awesome, when you have something this cool, you really just want to show it off. You really just want to share it with the world and show everyone. Show what it's about, what you've been building, what you've been creating, and just, allow everybody to take part, to see the fruit of all of the labor.
Hey, I took a video, not going to say which one, but I took a video that was 890 megabytes large, and I sent it via Slack today.
Holy smokes.
I just want you to think about that.
Was that all you did?
No, I did other things, but I sent an 800 meg video of this product. Of
this product right here?
Experience. Yeah. Oh, this one.
Is this a product?
Yeah.
Should we show that video?
Be a thing. I don't know. Do we have a thing? Do we have a video?
I hope they'll forgive us for not talking for a minute.
There's a little bit of talking from us.
There's actually a lot of talking. I take that back.
That's true. That's true. All right.
Do we want to? Are we doing this?
I think we're going to do it.
Let's just do it. It's time. Let's just do it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to wait.
Do it.
All right, boys. I'm going to mute you, and I'm going to roll that bean footage.
Welcome to Orrathis. This is a place where you earn your keep and your legends.
It is a land for those who understand that while creation is beautiful, it is not born from something gentle.
Where dreams aren't the strangest thing.
It is the embers of a world that burned too bright.
Ooh, baby.
It is the
They can't hear
presence
you
of
if you're talking.
something too heavy for words.
Where things aren't always as they seem.
No. I've got you muted off the...
Born when all
Although I'm not muted.
swords are too heavy to lift.
Those who endure may discover its beauty.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Takahashi, also known as Aporia. I'm the CEO of God Mode Games, and I'm so excited to share with you today our first title, Hollowed Oath. To kick us off, here's industry legend Zach Carlson talking about our team.
Hello everyone, I'm Zach, the Chief Operating Officer here at God Mode Games. We have assembled an incredible team of contributors. From published authors to gaming industry powerhouses that have worked for places like Epic, Nintendo, EA, Namco Bandai, Sony Online Entertainment, and Capcom. Collectively, we have assembled centuries of experience as developers, but more importantly, also as gamers. That's what makes this team truly different. We're not just here to churn out a product, we're here to make a game that we want to play, to build a new world that allows everyone to make new memories with great people like all of you.
Building with our community is the most exciting part about all this. Taking feedback, having real discussions, talking about what we really want, without egos getting in the way of great ideas. So, what is Hollowed Oath? Hollowed Oath is a fantasy MMORPG set in the Land of Orrathis, a beautiful but broken world, now scarred by regret. The gods once walked alongside their people, but now their people walk alone. In the absence of the gods that once protected them, a force known as the Hollow has crept into Orrathis, twisting all it touches. These areas, known as echoes, are tied to historical events lost to time, both tragic and divine. Civilization now struggles on its own, but hope hasn't been lost because people like you, adventurers with the power to become an Oathsworn, a multi-class adventurer with the strength to resist the Hollow, are taking the oath and choosing to fight for a future they want. Where great houses and factions trade power and privilege, you hold the fate of the Lora in your hands. Hollowed Oath draws inspiration from the giants that came before us, combining things we love with the things that we wished for as players, like systems that respect our time, that allow us to slay dragons while still being functional adults. That means Hollowed Oath lets you make meaningful progress on your own, at your own pace, but also enables you to discover, explore, fight, and power up with friends when you all have time. With our multiclassing system that allows you to make a character that's basically its own group, our synergy system that lets you draw the full potential out of that combination, and our journey system that lets you join an adventure at a moment's notice, you can game in a way that respects your time while still being incredibly fun. But enough from me. I'm going to kick it over to Alex, and we'll dive in.
Hi everyone, Alex here, one of the co-founders of God Mode Games, and I want to talk about some of the systems for Hollowed Oath that we're most excited about. First, multiclassing. In Hollowed Oath, you don't just pick one class and stay locked into that identity forever. Your character and your playstyle is not defined by a single rigid class definition. Your character is instead defined by the combination of paths you choose to follow as an Oathsworn. Our goal is to bring back that old school MMO feeling of wonder and discovery, but with more opportunities to create your own build identity within a flexible system that lets players experiment and theorycraft. Instead of asking, am I a tank, a healer, or a DPS, what we want is for players to be asking things like, what combination of abilities and roles would I choose if I was able to create my own class? Or, can I build a character that still solos well, but can support my friends when I choose to group a raid? Fundamentally, this system is about giving you the opportunity to play in a way that you want to play on your own terms. Next, I would like to talk about our synergy system. In Hollowed Oath, we don't want abilities to exist in isolation. Many MMOs give you a hotbar full of skills, but those skills typically function as separate buttons. You memorize a sequence of those buttons to press for your damage rotation, and occasionally use a situational ability, such as a crowd control or healing. With our synergy system, each ability slot represents a decision space, not a single action, collapsing complexity into clarity while preserving player agency and skill expression. Build your action bar layout to prioritize your abilities by cooldown, range, target type, and synergy state, allowing that slot to activate the correct ability for a given situation as you see fit. Alternatively, you can choose to break out a synergy slot into an entire ability bar to give you full control over which abilities you activate and when. As always, our priority is player agency and fun. Synergies themselves act as gameplay-enabling statuses, allowing for class compositions that wouldn't typically mesh together. For example, an elementalist will often inflict the burning condition on their opponents. If that player is also Justicar, they can follow up with Holy Fire for extra damage, or if they're a marksman, Detonating Shot can spread that status to nearby enemies. These ability-level interactions give us opportunities to prevent a stale meta from developing, where a tiny set of builds are clearly the best, and help deliver on the promise of multi-class character and skill expression.
Hey everyone, I'm Rachel, part of the creative team contributing to Hollowed Oath, and I wanted to share some of our quest system. Our team believes that quests can be more than a checklist or a list of objectives. They are how players experience the story and meet the people in it. So the idea is you're not just passing through our world. With our quests, you're experiencing it, uncovering its secrets, and actually influencing what happens around you. You can log in and do a quick quest if you want, but if you slow down a bit, you can explore, help our characters out, and actually see the impact of your decisions. And if you really start looking around, there are stories told just through the environment. We like to leave little clues around that let you figure out what happened there, or if something's still lingering.
Hey everyone, it's Valor. We hope you enjoyed this video and the many things that have already been accomplished at Hollowed Oath. We will continue to lean into choices that we'd love to see as gamers ourselves. We're committed to continue on this path of excellence, guided by the tenets of community, innovation, and iterative design, which has allowed us to accomplish in 6 months what most teams do in 18. Now, we invite all of you to join us as we create this world together. Join us in Discord, support our Kickstarter, and let's show the industry what a passionate, driven community can create together.
Ooh.
Well, boys and girls, what do you think? Are we excited? Is there hype or no?
And with that, the Kickstarter is live. It's happening. I'm so excited. We're all the excitement, the nervousness, the everything. We have been putting everything we can into showing you all what we can do, into showing ourselves what we can do. And a lot of you have been asking, like, how can we contribute? How can we support? You know, like, blah, blah, blah. We wanted to prove to ourselves first that we could do what it is that we wanted to do. And then to prove to you all that we had what it takes to prove to you what we can do. And today is that day. We all feel very proud of what we've accomplished so far in such a short amount of time. And we are just, we want to make this. We want to make this happen. We want this to be our future. We want this to be something that we can enjoy together. And this is the way for us to do that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you guys have been enjoying the updates. We plan on continuing those weekly updates throughout this entire process. You know, it's just been the support and the love that we've received from you guys. Like the reason that we're doing this is because we feel that. And yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, guys, I got to tell you, this is freaking exciting. I mean, I don't know if you guys have clicked on that link and started looking at some of the various different goals that are in there. I really do think there's some really cool stuff. I know from talking to Aporia, talking to Cata at various different times, there's a lot of different stuff that these guys really want to see in there. And putting money into that Kickstarter is going to not only help make sure that those things can make it in there, but make sure that these guys can keep their main focus on the game, building the game, and not having to stray off and do other things. Look at this Spam Diesel dude already pledged $250. What a crazy, crazy mans.
Oh, you guys. This
You wanna-
is
Go ahead.
this is wild. This is crazy. Go ahead,
Well,
Broken.
no, I was just going to say, I don't know if you want to talk about like some of the goals that you have and some of the things that are in there, and maybe touch on some of the ideas that you had, and sort of where the Kickstarter is going to get you, how it's going to help you guys produce the game, where it's going to put you at versus, you know, not doing a Kickstarter, things of that nature.
Sure. Absolutely. So there is there's a huge cost to developing this, even with, you know, everyone just contributing and supporting in every way that they can. We the first goal, right? So the 100K, that guarantees that we get to alpha without having to look for any outside investment. That guarantees a whole bunch of things that are done for alpha when that time comes, which we have slated for Q4 of this year, which I feel very confident with your support, we can absolutely hit that. And then every single tier after that, we sat down and it was like, what, number one, what is feasible, but also number two, like what would make the most sense? Like what would get me excited, right? As a player, what do I, you know, what would I want, and what does that look like? And so what we laid out for you, right? So like let's go through it. Let's just go through the darn thing, right? So like the base 100K, like I said, is just to get us to alpha. The stretch goals is everything that we want to add between now and then, and things that we want to have prepared when we actually launch. And so one way or the other, like we're going to get there. We have committed, we're going to get there. It's just we want to be able to dedicate and devote ourselves to this in a way that, you know, lets us make this our priority. So at 150K, right, we get into the item rarity system, which we've got some proofs for already. But the idea being that, so let's say you go to a camp, right, and you know that this enemy drops this sword that you really want. Well, in the system that we have planned out, not only can it drop, but it can drop in different rarities, and it can also potentially drop with different stat combinations. And it feels it's going to be a really fun system. Like I know it's going to be fantastic. We've got the our first Echo, which is our dungeon, Rattle Warren. We've got new races. So ogres is one that we're going to have ogres. They're beefy. They look awesome. Well, they will look awesome. And then the quest system, which you saw a little bit of in the video. But with every tier, right, we tried to map out all the things that are going to make Hollowed Oath just an awesome experience. And I'm more than happy to talk about, now that this is out there, now that people know what's coming, now that we have some more of our gameplay out there, now that we have some of our biomes out there, it's further along than anyone thought. You know, this is, now we can start answering these questions, and that's really what we're excited to do over the next few weeks. And as always, the door is open, right? Like we're here for you all. We're building this with you. We want your feedback. We want to do it hand in hand.
That's huge. I do want to point out one thing that I saw in there. A fellow named Rect Expert talking about loving you guys, really being appreciative of the project, feeling like they are concerned about a Kickstarter project, and I think that that's a fair take, and that's an okay take to have, and I don't think anybody's going to hold that against you. People who want to contribute and people who want to donate money and people who want to be a starter for this are, that money is welcome, that is appreciated, that is, basically there's a lot of thankfulness and a lot of gratitude that goes out there, but there's also no negative feelings, there's no hurt feelings, there's no shade thrown at anybody who is concerned or was otherwise burned by previous projects. Ashes of Creations left a lot of people feeling really terrible, and it's certainly understandable that some folks might feel not so great about Kickstarters moving forward. But I'll tell you, these guys, I would imagine their bodies would ache, their souls would yearn if they fell short or even in the realm of where guys like Steve and Sharif were running into. Not to mention, we all know that Cata, if he was going to spend his money on anything, it would be on fancy keyboards. None of that magic card, personal chef nonsense.
I do want to touch on that because it's very raw, it's very real, right? And it's the biggest thing that I see being talked about right now in the MMO space, right? I completely understand anyone who has hesitation or who doesn't want to do X, Y, and Z. You know, I've been burned too many times by these different peoples, by this and that. And it's not even just by like Kickstarters, right? Like we've all felt it. Like we've felt it from AAA studios. We felt it from everywhere. And so it's a really difficult thing. And for me personally, look, you know, if you can't back us, that's okay. There's so many other things you can do. Like, so I want to reference the announcement that I sent out in Discord, right? Like, if you can't back, that's totally okay. If you don't want to back, that's totally okay. Rep the Hollowed Oath tag if you're excited about it. Share Hollowed Oath with someone you think that would enjoy it. One of the best things about creating this is getting to share it with people. So that's okay, right? Like it's just I get it. And there's definitely no hard feelings there whatsoever. Like I'm just so grateful that you all are on this journey with us. And yeah, I get it.
With that out the way, you want to dig into some of these questions before they start building up. And I don't know if you remember the old days where we spent like 2 solid hours answering nothing but questions.
We already have. Yeah,
we got 2 pages worth already. I know this boy right here was in here real early and asked this question, so we're going to go ahead and throw that up on the screen. Would you consider making abilities that are instant cast slottable in an offensive proc slot for a reduced effect? Half power, limited proc rate. Same goes for defensive proc slot. Slotted that way, those spells or abilities can't be used actively. An example would be Illusionist putting his clone skill as a defensive proc, but loses the ability to target something and clone it, but when hit, might clone the attacker. You're welcome, Zanar, nar. Where is Reyna?
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. That's your first question. I had to do that as your first question.
we jumped into the deep end, huh? Okay. So, first and foremost, to all of these questions we're about to answer, right? Like this is as early in development as we were comfortable sharing, right? So lots of things are going to change between now and the day that we launch. However, a cool idea is a cool idea. And I think that is a super cool idea. My biggest concern with anything like that, right? The player in me screams like, whoa, that's really cool. But then I sit back and think about the conversation that I'm going to inevitably have with Castle, where it's like, balance. So what does that look like? If we add this, what does that actually mean? And then digging into the actual impact on play and on player experience across the board. But I think in general, something like that is really cool. We're definitely going to have a proc system, but whether that is through runes that you slot in your weapons or passives that you invest in your Oathline tree or, from a unique item, we will definitely, like I love procs. Super fun. They will be there. I'm not 100% sure on what that's going to look like just yet. But I love the question. I just think it's amazing that this is the first question we got.
I had to do it.
I'll jump in on this one. I think it's a cool idea, and I'd like to play with it and see if it works out. But Castle already mentioned in Slack that he thought it was interesting.
Clip it. No.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
that's an indicator. That's an indicator, by the way. If
there he goes, Nar. Actually, Reyna, can we get you in here so you can say his name for us? All right. Man, I'm not gonna lie, like some of these questions, people jumped right into it. Here, we'll do Wendy's. Good to hear from you guys once again. I miss Aporia's sexy voice. Rude. Hope this finds you well. My question is, what plans do you have in regards to something like a market or economic system?
Yeah, that's a great question. You want to field it out?
Yeah, sure. So that's actually called out as one of the stretch goals for Alpha, but it's on the roadmap is to have some kind of global market system. It's probably going to be more like one where you like post your items for consignment rather than like having to have a character logged in that becomes a vendor or something similar. But there's some TBDs in there still.
Yeah, so absolutely. So for me personally, right, the economy of a game is one of the most fun things. I love hunting for something really rare, getting it, and then flipping it, making a profit. It's super fun. So yes, there will definitely be some type of system like that.
I think we're comfortable saying that right now the plan is to have most things be tradable, with a very small number potentially of like bind on pickup or bind on equip type items. But most things will be pickable or will be tradable. However, we're talking about the things are better if you get them yourself system, or we want to hold off on that?
I mean, you literally kind of just said it. So
cat's out of the bag.
Okay. Here, I'll frame it correctly. So
this is what we miss about these.
Right, I'm a huge fan of things being tradable, just in general. Like it feels weird to like have an item that you haven't used and you just can't trade it, whatever. But it can take away from the personal progression aspect. Like I found something really cool and it's really good. So we are dabbling with a system that if you are the one to find an item, it is objectively better than one that is found by another person of the same type. And we're not sure on the precise like what that is going to look like in the end, but it feels right and it sounds right, and we've thought about it a lot. So that's something that I'm excited about, and I'm looking forward to seeing what shape that takes.
Yeah, still early, very early, guys. So just bear in mind that while you're asking some of these questions too, and you're popping out ideas and various different things, that some of these things will be moving targets throughout development, and so it'll be hard to nail down,
Yeah.
How about this one? This one might be a little bit easier. Balin Collin wants to know anything you can share regarding playtests.
Well, playtests so far have been internal. I can say that we've had 14 people online without any issues whatsoever. I know 14 is not a big number, but it says a lot, and it proves a lot about what we're doing and how we're doing as we're watching the metrics behind the scenes. But Alpha 1 is going to be very limited. Kind of like an invite only type of a thing. Alpha 2 is also going to be relatively limited, but as you can see from the Kickstarter, we've got, up to about 500 seats we're thinking. Open testing, we're probably, as soon as we have a bead on some of the bigger things that need to be worked out and we have those done, stress tests I can see being some type of lottery or invite type of a thing. But yeah, I mean, we're excited, not for nothing, we're excited to get people in there to check it out, to feel it. But you probably won't see anything before Q4 in that regard.
My God, Biggs just called out 10% of the goal has been reached already.
What?
So
yeah, it's just more than 10,000 now. It's gone so fast.
Okay.
Yay, go. Let's go.
Get it.
Booyah!
Hollowed Oath?
Well done, folks. Well done. Let's get into this next one. Lizard DDO, how are you guys making the models, creating animations? Do you have experience in that?
Wow. Yeah, so that's a great question. So the really fun thing about getting together with a group of people that really just want to make an awesome game, we have some exceptionally talented people on this team, and you will find something that's common amongst exceptionally talented people. They have the ability to learn things and pick things up. We have people who are literally, quite literally, world class in their field, doing things that they have never done before, in a field completely unrelated to what they do, and it's really interesting to be a part of that process, to see what passion unfolds and shows to us, right? But that being said, specifically when it comes to models and animations, so early on, one of the things that we needed to do was to identify what art style we really liked, right? And you guys have seen basically where we have landed, right? So you've got that pseudo cell shaded, stylized look. We did not want hyper realism. We did not want things that are going to tax everyone's computer. Like, you basically have to be a millionaire to run some of these games now, and that's insane. So like having a nice stylized look that runs well, that's what we wanted to do. And when we landed on that and we started concepting some art, Valor has been fantastic in that regard, and Castle, and we're just like, okay, well, what if it looks like this? What if it looks like that? We started looking around the Epic asset store, right? And like, well, who is actually out in the space that's creating these things? We met with artists that have worked on Borderlands. We met with artists that have worked on a bunch of previous titles. We got some really great feedback, really great input. And ultimately, we approached Enhanced Studio, who had created a bunch of the fab assets that we really liked, right? Like, we were trying to find, like, like, well, are these like heavily used, this and that? And it's really interesting to see that there's a lot of people that want to make games, that try to make games, but that don't actually make it into production. So it's like there are all these wonderful assets that are there that they've created, and it's like, well, you know what, let's talk to them. Like, they're capable of creating these things. I wonder if they want to work something out with us. And so we sat down and we met, and it was just we clicked. And so Enhanced Studios has done both our male and female human that you guys see in these videos, and we're like we've already shared, we're planning on doing ogre and dwarf next. And in terms of animation, they have those packs, and Castle has been doing animations, and Valor, and it's a really interesting process. So there's a lot of hands, there's a lot of experience, but there's a lot of inexperience too, and we're learning. But the great thing is that the way that we interact with each other, we're not going to settle for something unless we're happy with it, right? So it's cool, and it comes in stages, and this entire process is iterative, right? And so like people are pointing things out, and they're like, oh, well, this and that and this and that. Things have changed 100 times from the time that we have started until now for almost every aspect of this, right? And that is how we operate. That is how this is going to go. So we'll make a thing, and it's good for now. We're happy with it for now. Next week, that might be different, because we want to make it better, because we've realized we have figured out a way to do something better. And it's a really exciting process. It's a good question.
Necessity is the mother of invention, and we have set our minds to doing a thing. And so the cool thing about having smart and talented people around is they can figure out how to do new things. So something needs to be done, someone will figure out how to do it.
Sweet.
That's a good way to put it.
Jesus. We've got a lot of questions asking about progression, so I'm going to go ahead and tap on one of these, and we'll click off a bunch of them. Kiaz04 would like to know, will there be progression system like content locked behind progression?
So we've talked about what progression looks like, and you're going to see a more horizontal like progression system here than you're probably used to seeing. We believe we figured out a way to do it in a way that feels good. We've all played games that have horizontal progression systems, and none of them really, in my opinion, hit the mark. But Kat, are you okay if I share some overviews of Oathlines and like what we're thinking about?
Yeah, I think this is as good a time as any to share some of the ideas, because it's one of the more radical divergences from other games in the space.
Sure. So basically, right? We'll keep it super high level. So I go out, I kill a mob, I get XP. I get enough of that XP, I get an Oathline point. That Oathline point can be used in a number of different ways, right? It can be used to just increase my stats. It can be used to purchase general shared passives and abilities throughout all classes. It can be used to purchase passives or abilities that are for a specific archetype. And then, of course, it can be used for your specific classes that you chose. And those specific classes that you chose, that point can either be, well, I want a new ability. So like, okay, I leveled up, I'm going to get this Justicar ability because I really want it. Next time when you level up, do you want to get another ability? Maybe you want to get an Elementalist ability this time. Or maybe you really like the ability that you picked with your Justicar, and now you want to modify it, right? So in the example that I had given previously, let's say you've got Fireball, okay? You leveled up Fireball, you have it. It's now on your bar, you can use it. The next time you get 1 points, 2 points, whatever that system ends up being, you have the option to upgrade that Fireball in a specific way. So maybe the choices for Fireball is now instead of 1 stack of burning, it applies 2. Maybe you've got a higher percent chance to crit. All the different ways that you can affect that Fireball, okay? And that's just the first tier of modifications. Over time, we plan on having multiple tiers of modifications to every ability. So you can choose where you want to spend your points, how you want to spend them, and have flexibility around that. So it's a really cool system. I'm really excited to get our prototype in and to play with it. But it's going to allow customization. So not just as having 560 class combinations, like really cool, but you can have a ton of people who are playing the same class combinations that have chosen to build their character differently. And that's really exciting. That's really fun. Just because you've got the exact same comp as somebody else doesn't mean that you're playing it the same way. And there's going to be options for you to figure out what that looks like.
My God. I'm just trying to even like break that down.
It's taking a lot of inspiration from Diablo-like ARPGs and similar games, where how you develop your character has less to do with just leveling up along a static path and more how you in particular choose to develop your character.
Yeah. Yep. Super excited about it. And we're, I just can't wait. Sorry, there's so many messages going by, and I'm like,
yeah. There's this guy Death Star. I seem to remember this name once upon a time. Did you have something?
Oh, he was just clearing his throat, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Well, are you looking for voice talents? I'm extremely interested in helping with that.
Nice. So on voice talents, we have partnered with a wonderful voice acting guild out of Hawaii, Collective Imagination. Shout out Collective Imagination. The voices that you heard in the intro video, that was them. You'll be hearing a lot more of them as we add different speaking stones to the archives, and a lot of other, fun things that we have. But in terms of not just voice talent, but anyone, I saw there was a number of people who were like, hey, do you need help with this? Could you use anyone like this, et cetera, et cetera. I love that. I love that there's people that want to help, and there probably is opportunity to do that. We've been in this pattern where it's like, okay, we have the people that we need to get to where we want to go right now. Kickstarter is really, this is the moment where we find out whether or not what that expansion looks like. If anything, we have identified a couple weaknesses on the team that we're gonna need to fill in. But when the time comes, listen, we will absolutely be dropping something in an announcement or an update going, hey, are you X, Y, or Z? Are you interested in contributing? We will absolutely let you all know. Absolutely.
Calpie would like to know, can we upgrade our backing status? I've seen a lot of people making comments about this, so I figured
I believe that you can. So Kickstarter doesn't finalize pledges or take funds until the campaign's completed. And so I think at any point prior to that, you can upgrade your backing or add add-ons.
Yeah, there's a green button at the top that says manage your pledge. You just click the manage your pledge, and then you can change it from there.
Nice. There was one that I was just looking at. Actually, should I eat some crow with this one there, Aporia?
What's that?
Official OST when I need it. I was like, hey man, like the soundtrack's gonna get put out there. People are gonna share that thing all over Spotify, YouTube. It's gonna be everywhere.
I honestly think we should just put it on Spotify, but that is what it is.
We'll figure something out. I really appreciate that. This is a great opportunity to shout out Pico. I've sat with him on a few of his sessions and watching him, create and edit. I love what he's come up with and come up with from some insane requests from the team. So yeah, we can't wait to share that soon.
Oh, did that just work?
Ooh. Blue Bird Dog says, what has been your favorite feature to work on, and why is it player housing? Man after my own heart right there. Hold on, there's more.
But wait. So for me personally, when I sketched up the synergy system to begin with, when I saw that coming to life, it was pretty wild. And then seeing how Castle, it's really cool when you have an idea and then someone takes that idea and makes that idea better, and then that better idea is taken and made better. And I mentioned that in our video. Like, we don't let ego keep us from doing something awesome, right? Like, if someone takes an idea of someone else and does something cool with it, like, that's wonderful. Great. That's fantastic. But yeah, the synergy system, I think it's super cool. I mean, I literally, like I said, when I was shooting footage, I was just sitting there grinding mobs. Like, I would find myself like 5 minutes later, like, dude, you need to shoot like 9 other biomes. What are you doing? And I'm sitting there farming Narogi.
Yeah. I was pretty skeptical of the synergy system when it was first explained, but after using it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a really good idea. In fact, I think there's a question that just got posted asking for more information on it.
You want to touch on that one?
Yeah, okay. And since we're already on the topic.
Larry.
Yeah. So it's one button, and it chooses the lowest ability on the stack that is off cooldown, that is appropriate to use in the situation on the specific thing that you have targeted. So as an example, if you can put a whole damage rotation into it, and it will choose the one that is the appropriate one to use at that time, based on what effects are on the mob, what's off cooldown, etc.
And to be clear, so you've got your base 10 ability slots, and they work exactly how you think they do. But then on top of it, right, you get to put all the things that you think are related to it, or not even related to it if you don't want to. But the intent is, if you've got abilities that say take advantage of an effect like burning or weakened or what have you, you can put all of the abilities that take advantage of those things on top of that base ability. And then after you use that base ability, you have the opportunity to take advantage of those things without having to have 5 bars worth of stuff that you're trying to coordinate.
I also, when I first started, I was like, but having seen it in action, it's really freaking cool, and it works a lot better. Like it's a lot more fluid than I originally thought it was going to be, which it feels right. You know, it looks like it goes well, it flows well.
Just to touch on something that was just brought up in chat. If you prefer to just have all the buttons, you can also just disable that function for a specific slot and have it as a hotbar, a broken out hotbar where you can just use the buttons instead. So again, it's about like playing the game in a way that makes sense to you, and the synergy system is a way to deal with decision bloat and limited inputs for controllers, and yeah.
You know, there's another music man in here too. Just to touch on something that was being talked about a moment ago. There's a Kratos in here, a Kratos character. He's a music man.
Yeah.
He makes the music. He does the sound things. Pretty awesome sound things too.
He does.
Just putting that out there.
I have partaken in his sweet dulcet tones once before.
Indeed.
I don't know how I feel about this one, Spam Diesel, but we'll ask it. Will there be a beggar in town named Broken?
No, but there will be one named Stoic.
God. Damn it.
That's fun.
Let's see here. Farlashir, there's a name that we haven't seen in a while. Missed you guys. Why do the classes not mention axes at all?
I mean, we can always add more classes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good point. We can always add more items and more classes.
Well, that's true, but rumor has it that number on that Kickstarter thing has to go up a lot more for that to happen. That's the rumor.
It's
Word
true.
on the street.
You know, that's the goal. But we do. Hey, I was dual wielding axes in one of those videos. Although we don't have two-handed axes.
We need some two-handed axes.
You don't have two-handed axes? Is this even a game?
We need some halberds.
Yes. Ooh, pole arms. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Stoned Exile says, will everything be open world, or will certain things be instanced like dungeons?
That's a good question. So the open world is incredible. It is vast. And there will be camps and events and bosses and things in the open world. But dungeons will most likely be instanced. They will most likely be instanced. And exactly how that is implemented is something that we're working on. We have a number of ways we can do it. But we think that instance is correct, because at the end of the day, like I don't have time to fight you for the camp, man. I really don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to fight you for the camp, and we both want the same thing. And there's no reason that we both can't do that.
Lucerne wants all of the accidental information releases. Well, Lucerne, let me tell you.
I don't think the information releases right now are accidental.
I don't know. You guys in your Discord are crazy. We have ads starting, which is kind of why I'm jumping in the middle here. But like I will say that there are far more leaks in your Discord than sometimes I'm comfortable with. And I'm not even a part of your project. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even in there.
We're staying live through the break,
yeah, we can stay. Yeah, we can stay live. I am gonna move this up though. Awesome. There we go. Yeah. So I mean, if you join their Discord, I guarantee like Castle is constantly like somebody just says like some weird thing, and then Castle will post like the breakdown of some complete system, and I'm like, was that supposed to be like? Is that? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Before I go to bed every night, I do like a quick like breeze through Discord, and I end up taking screenshots of stuff, and I'll just DM people and be like, "Really? Is this okay? Like, is this true? Is this what we're doing? Okay. So I don't know if we should have said that. That's fine. It's fun though. It's all fun. Like at the end of the day, we're creating something that is going to be awesome, that is going to be fun, and you know, from a lot of these discussions is where some of that fun stuff comes from. Like someone will just say something offhand, and it's like, oh, actually, that might sound crazy, but what about this?
Well, I think that's the magical part about what you guys do is like the community is almost as much of a part of the development as you guys are, right? Like there's constantly dialogue that occurs that somebody's like, man, I hadn't looked at it that way. I hadn't thought about it that way. And it gets implemented or maybe adjusted, modified otherwise, and incorporated, which is really cool.
Heck yeah.
And yes, sometimes we do let Cata out of his room.
Very occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Question here about how many hours a day does Cata spend coding?
It's a lot. More than anyone in my personal life is comfortable with.
Good answer. Jesus.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I think like it because of how fast they're building this project, I think it gets really easy to like think that these guys are way further along than like it's how many projects, how many games, honestly, you guys are all gamers and you're in Twitch and you're watching this. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are in these media spaces where you're seeing game development, you're seeing people talk about these games that are being announced, and you see a game announced and then you don't hear anything about it for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be. And then, you know, they pop up and they're like, yeah, we're ready to do an alpha. You know, we're ready to do this. These guys like announced, we're like 2 months ago, almost to the day. And
I don't think we ever actually announced anything.
That's fair. That's actually a really good point. So, I mean, you guys went like public? I don't know how else to word it.
Soft launch. I don't know. This is the closest thing to an announcement that we've done.
Fair enough. All the same, they went from nothing to a game you can run around and kill things in. There's a world, a map. There's a lot of stuff in that world. I'm trying to be very careful and not give away anything myself here. But like there are things in the world, there are things that you would not even imagine should be in that world at this particular stage or timeline of development. They've moved so quickly that it becomes very easy for the public or anyone to perceive this project as being like, man, these guys, it's crisp, it's ready for play testing, it's ready to build, it's ready to ship, it's ready to go. But the reality is that these guys are really focused and they're really building up systems within the game as pillars. Like think of it like man, here's a system that we're working on. Here's the thing, and it stands up now on its own. We move on to the next thing. We start building this next thing. I mean, it's stunning how beautiful the world is. It's stunning, the characters that are being created. It's stunning, the systems that are being implemented for the combat and the ability usage, the character progression. It just keeps growing at an exponential rate. So I don't know. It's inspiring.
Can I take this Melvin McTrusty one? Will there be a way to avoid and or ignore toxic players from impacting our game? I think that's a great question.
Sure.
The short answer is yes. I've worked on several projects wherein the strategy that we took for dealing with people, say, who, in this particular instance, it was a fighting game, and some people would pull their network cable out of their console when they were losing. And it was a really kind of a scourge on the community. And so what we did was we started to match those people with other people who also pulled their plug often. And so they just would end up playing with themselves. You can expect us to follow a similar sort of philosophy. When I worked on Star Wars Galaxies, we had some things like that that I won't go into details on. But like ultimately, there's a bunch of those kinds of systems that you can put in place that sort of make sure that your toxic people play only with other toxic people. It's regrettably a situation that, like, Riot should have addressed a long time ago. But yeah, we will.
Yeah, fighter games got really toxic.
In general, and I've said this before, this community is precious. And if you don't want to be here, we do not want you to be here. So
you will be invited to leave.
Exactly. You either behave like you want to be here, or we will invite you to leave. That was well put.
I really like GTA's system where if you're a misbehavior, they put you in a misbehavior server with all the other misbehaviors, so you guys just troll each other. And you basically get stuck there because you can't really behave in the misbehavior server.
I will say this. If we do something like that, I do want a way for people to earn their way out, whatever that may be. And then, because I think people make mistakes. And if we're not just straight up yeeting them, then you can work your way out.
Are you familiar with the Kumite?
Oh no.
I was going to say that, frankly, at a minimum, having some kind of, like, I don't know, shadow ban system where if you are identified as a toxic player like that, you just play by yourself. You don't, other people don't get to see you.
All of a sudden, you just like you're auto modded.
Yeah, I think Zach's solution there is more interesting.
Now, how are you going to implement that? Tell me how that gets coded into the game and work. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know right now, honestly.
Castle, put a pin in that for us for later.
I'll add it in a boss that literally just chases toxic players around and have to convince 12 people to help them kill it to get rid of it. That's great.
Oh wow! No, that's a fun idea. That's kind of how what Witcher 3 dealt with it, right?
We bring back the chase by lightning mechanic.
Oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
I like the chase by lightning mechanic.
Looks like you just hit 15% of your goal.
That's wild.
Oh, guys, love it.
I feel like, speaking of toxic players, Rev Nelly would like to know, will Hollowed Oath have a full solo experience for loners with no friends like Broken Stoic?
So there will be a Broken Stoic mode. No.
Is it called Solo Self? I don't know. Alone.
Solo Self Stoic? But, well, so let's take this a little seriously on that though. So the experience that you can have as a solo player here guarantees that you always have something to do. And that honestly, it's one of our biggest draws. If you don't have time to find a group, or frankly you're not in the mood to find a group, you are your group, right? Like you've built your powerhouse, you've farmed your Oathline points and got your gear, and carefully theory crafted all the things that you want to do, and you can do all those things that you want to do. And I love that.
Yeah. I like to describe Hollowed Oath as solo-ish. It's one of the things that we're focused on is not gating whether you can do content, whether you can see things in the game, go through dungeons, fight bosses, etc., based on whether you're soloing or grouping, but rather how how those fights play out, how that content plays out, should change based on whether you're solo or grouping, but not whether you get to do it at all.
Yep.
This question I'm going to modify a little bit. Oh, go ahead. You were going to expand?
No. I was just going to say, and it's the cool thing is it's not focused on only being solo. We'll make sure that you can group, that it's a good experience with that when you group, and that there's reasons for you to group if you want to.
Yeah, I will say the impression that I've gotten from conversations with you guys is that there'll be something for people who want to play traditionally as well as sort of new, respect your time style. Every time you log in, there'll be something valuable for you to do or achieve, right? Like,
exactly. I mean, that's exactly.
So this one I'm going to modify a little bit. Because there's a lot of questions that are around this sort of same system where people are kind of asking, is it an open world experience? Is it a what has been traditionally called a theme park experience where you go from hub to hub and you get a bunch of quests and then it take you out to an area and then you complete those quests, go back, turn them in, grab a bunch more quests, go back out? That kind of style. What do you envision for the quest system?
So there are things that we like from different quest systems, from different ways of going about having quests. There are absolutely going to be, like, when you start the game, you're going to have some quests that'll get you started, get you guided in the right direction. But the goal is that if you don't want to do the quests, you don't have to do the quests, right? The game is laid out in such a way that if you wanted to just go through the game by fighting mobs and progressing that way, that's totally fine. If you enjoy quests, then you'll have, some quest chains. There will be hubs. But there's also going to be lots of environmental quests that are out there, things that you can discover that will give you quests either on the fly or that you complete without even, realizing that that's what you were doing. But there's a lot of really great ways to do questing. And I feel like we've identified a number of them, and we're going to try to execute really well on all of them. But one thing is that, we don't want to pigeonhole people. We don't want to be like, well, you have to do all of these quests or else you're going to be left out of X, Y, and Z. And we also don't want to make them so worthless that no one wants to do them. So we're definitely aware of that balance and what that should look like.
Right on. You get to play the way you want to play. Exciting.
That's
how about this one? There's a couple of this one.
So yeah, I mean, we can talk about it and I'll be honest with it. Let's do it. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Alcibression, I probably murdered your name, so congrats. What's the monetization plan? The Kickstarter only has alpha and beta access, no tier that just has release access. Does that imply there is no box price or sub?
So I can tell you that is a personal goal of mine. But I do not know what the road between now and release looks like. Ideally, in an ideal world where we don't have to worry about additional funding, we don't have to, we don't encounter anything that we're unaware of. Ideally, right? It is no subscription, and the only MTX that is there are for fun cosmetic items, things that don't directly impact power. But we do them seasonally, we do them well. They're things that people want to do because they're cool. That's the idea, right? Like that's the idea. That's what we're going for. But again, like I would love to be able to promise you that, but ask me again if we hit that $3.5 million stretch goal.
Right.
Just to clear confusion, I think we can promise that we're not going to do MTX for power.
Well, yes, that
just to be clear, like that's a hard line for everyone on the team. We're not interested in making a pay to win game.
That's a pretty awesome announcement right there. Not selling power, not selling a pay to win. And that kind of, Chad Wellington had a question about that as well. What's the microtransactions are we looking at?
Al Suppression just asked a follow up. Just to reiterate, for the sake of clarity, we can't make promises about whether there's going to be a box price or a subscription right now, because there's some open questions about the road to release still.
Right. They just opened the Kickstarter today, right? Like
we don't want there to be a box price or a subscription. But yeah.
Yeah, ultimately, I'd love to have monetization be ultimately microtransaction based, so that everyone can participate if they choose to. I don't want to do it the way that people think about microtransactions or we talk about them in the industry. What I really want is for everyone to be able to say, hey, look, here's a dollar and this thing will make my life better, easier, faster, whatever. It enriches my life and my experience in a meaningful way. I don't think the entry point for participation in supporting your favorite products should be $20. I think it should be $1.
Right. I can tell you some of the things that we've talked about that make sense to me, because there's some questions about what is power, what is not. So cosmetic items, easy, right? We've got cosmetic, not just armor, weapons, pets, illusions, things of that nature. As long as it doesn't have stats on it, people brought up bags. Here's my personal opinion on bags. As long as there is a way in game to get an equivalent bag, then that's fine. Now, if we're like, hey, you give us $20, you get 100 slot bag, and like people are walking around with 20 slot bags, that feels bad.
Right on. Spoony Tuna Fingers. Yes, I just said that out loud. How much of your experience from all those fighting games Ozuri is helping you develop this game currently?
None.
Booyah.
Sorry. Look, I wish I could tell you that that's how it worked, but it doesn't. MMO development in particular it's a squirrely business, and very little of the skill set translates. It is kind of a unique beast. The thing that is most likely to indicate your likelihood of success on an MMO is that you've already shipped one.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of marketing, a lot of business stuff in there.
Yep.
How many abilities and skills are not combat related? Asks Zaire.
Very few right now. That may change.
That's fair.
We've really been kind of focused on making the core like combat gameplay loop make sense. So just hasn't happened yet. I can the problem is that with the way we've designed the Oathline leveling system, it doesn't make a lot of sense to insert non-combat abilities into that. So TBD there.
We've got a lot of questions regarding an end game and what your vision for the end game is. I'm going to click Melvin's, but I know that there's like 10 other people. I was just looking through the questions. There's about 10 questions related specifically to the end game.
Okay.
Melvin McTrusty, yeah. What does your vision for the end game player gameplay loop to be? How much will you factor player fun into the equation?
Well, player fun is like the 99th. Like that's the thing that's important more than anything else.
Yeah, if it's not fun, I don't want it. Like that's I'm really glad you put that part in there because that kind of simplified it. If our end game loop is not fun, we have failed. And we're going to do everything we can to make it fun. And a big part of that is going to be gear progression, ability progression, achievement hunting, playing with the different modes and outcomes that you get from different echoes. It's going to be good though. There's going to be enough there to keep people entertained, I think, longer than what your typical MMO would, because of a lot of the underlying systems that we have and how we're implementing it.
So there you go. A lot of people are also asking, how are we, the players, going to impact the world? Are we a part of how the world develops? Are we, what is our role in the game's development, the server's development?
Sure. Well, so there's a couple different answers here, right? So I'm going to take it from the developer side. So we're in Discord every day. My DMs have never closed. We share things probably more often than we should, but the point is to share things because we want feedback. We want to know that our ideas are on point and that we're developing in the right way, and being able to interact with all of you. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's really funny. Like, so we've got the Hollowed Oath tag that you can put on in Discord. And every time someone reps that and someone else sees it and someone else joins, and having that new input, it really it's going to make for a better game, right? So just by you all being here right now, whether you're backing, whether you're sharing, whether you're participating in this chat, all of those things matter for different reasons and in different ways. So yeah. Like it's you're hand in hand with us. I mean, I don't personally know of a game that has been developed in such a way that has such access to the people developing it. And I'm proud of that.
Pretty impactful. I mean, I think that these guys have always included the community in almost everything they've done, right? Like, and in the game itself, they're building game systems that are also going to allow you to, if you decide to play alone, if you decide to play with other people, that's going to change your game experience. It's going to change your interaction. It's going to change the way that you You build your own experience. Good Lord, I know I've been in enough conversations with Ozuri about player-generated content to probably make us both melt. But it's, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's all about building the right community, and that's going to really affect and impact your experience. I've seen a handful of questions about this one too. Will items be affixed or prefixed, or how is item progression working?
Yes.
Yes. So this is one of those ideas, and this is actually a fun one to talk about. So this is one of those ideas that have evolved quite a bit from the first time that we talked about it and what we thought it was going to look like to what we think is correct. Are we cool talking about the system?
Yeah, with the caveat that most of this is in stretch goal territory.
Okay. Yeah. So this particular piece has not been developed yet, but we do have some pretty strong feelings about it. So
Parts of it have been developed.
What's that?
Parts of it have been developed.
Okay, fair. But so the idea is that you're fighting an enemy. That enemy is a marksman. The gear that it drops will be gear that a marksman would be wearing. Now, enemies that you fight can be more than one class as well. And those classes will have additional influences on that gear and on the stats that are on that gear. Now, you add another layer onto that, knowing that it can drop in multiple rarities, and those rarities control rune slots. And items can drop with different runes inserted in them, and you can take those runes out and mix and match. So what we first thought of as an affix and prefix system has turned into a much more dynamic system that allows you to create the piece of gear that you want, both by targeting the enemies that you're fighting, but also the way that you farm the runes that go into it. So it's actually really interesting that, depending on the class that you are, can have an effect on what drops, and also the thing that you're fighting has an effect on what drops in ways that we haven't seen done, and in ways that feel really cool.
And then on top of that, there's the whole holocraft trade skill that will allow you to further adjust and customize your gear.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Because we've had some crafting questions as well.
I don't mind talking about crafting in general, but maybe not that one specifically.
Yeah, that one we should keep under wraps until we have it fleshed out a little more, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about, is there someone in charge of crafting?
We can talk about crafting. Like the one you just deleted.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's up on the screen. Do you guys have a crafting system plan? Do you have someone who can think and breathe at the same time while working on it?
Yeah. So yes, we have multiple people who can think and breathe at the same time working on it. We have it outlined but not implemented. The basic concept is that there's going to be a relatively limited number of recipes for what kind of things you can make. I say relatively limited, to be clear. But the materials that you use to going into them is going to influence the outcome in combination with like your skill at whatever that craft is. You're going to be on a point buy system based on the results of your crafting, where you can choose how the stats that you rolled are eligible to be allocated on that item. So every item that gets crafted can have a unique distribution of stats, and the skill of the crafter is both like their character skill in terms of what like a literal skill number, which influences how good their crafts are on average, but also the player themselves in terms of what materials they choose to combine together into what recipes with what combination of stats that go into them.
Castle put it really well there in chat. A sword recipe, rather than 40 different sword recipes, your skill in the craft and the material you choose are what determines what get made.
I'm really excited about the general crafting system. I think it's probably one of the more interesting mechanically of crafting systems in MMOs that I've seen. Less right now, at least in terms of design on like mini games while you're crafting, but more in terms of what the outputs are.
Nice. I really like this question. I actually got into a really deep conversation with someone the other day about dynamic quests. Hey guys, missed your voices so much. Will the game have GM or player run events?
I wanted to.
Yes. Yes. That's the spice. So like the interactions that we have with players both in game and out is what truly shapes the experience, right? The things that we remember most are not the things that someone else has experienced a million times before. So if we can do that, we absolutely will do that, and I think that is something that we want to make happen.
As game makers, we are really engaged in an older art form of cooperative storytelling. And we remember how to tell that story with you when we enable you to tell your own story. And it's not just the story that we want you to tell, it's also how you interact your own story with the thing that we have created. And so really craft, in my opinion here, is in the roll-up. It's in the capability all the way at the top.
Hell yeah. Just want to point out that I'm gonna close down the questions. It is 9:30, and we had actually planned on ending this at 9, but we've gone over, and we'll continue going till probably 10. But we have 3 pages of questions in here that I would like to get to some more of these. And if we keep parsing more questions, it's a lot of them are just not going to get answered. So I'll give you 2 more minutes to get them in there, and that's not with any guarantee that we'll be able to get to them, but I will try. I think that this is a very serious question that needs to be asked for all the nerds out there. Can we add a blue Izod polo cosmetic for one of the Kickstarter goals, and if we hit it, everyone gets it from level 1?
You guys. I like my Izods. But real talk, we are working on actual clothing underneath the armor. So who knows?
I was going to say
actual Izods.
No, man, come on. Hollowed Oath
Sure.
Izod collaboration would be amazing.
All right, marketing team from Izod, if you're listening, feel free to let me know.
Maybe that's one solution.
I'm just saying. I'm not going to say no.
There's an Izod billboard.
Well, yeah, that's right. It's a collab.
Oh, I gotta ask this one because good kitty. What's a fenner?
Well, so you've heard of
he's ucking because of behind the scenes drama.
Oh, I see. Very good. Moving on.
Oh, okay. Beast folk race? Lizard race?
Yeah. Foxkin.
Yeah.
Foxkin.
Fennec fox. Kin.
Okay, more.
That's what the Fen are. That's the Fen
are.
There's no more. The Selrothi are lizards.
So there's lizard people too, and fox people. For all you furries out there, you're going to get your characters. What will equate to the Goldshire Inn?
No.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. A lot of questions about play modes.
It's on a stretch goal. We have every intention of implementing them, but it's a stretch goal.
God, I saw like 5 of those questions, and now I can't see any of them. Where the hell? There's one. It's a stretch goal, guys. Kickstarter, push it. Ooh, Raina had a good question. How often will we be having Q&As going forward?
You know, that's a good question. Definitely more often than we've been having them. But real talk, we love being able to interact.
Considering this is the first one.
Right. That was, thank you, Cata. That was a joke. We love being able to interact with all of you, and we've talked to internally. There are some team members that would love to be able to, talk about the things that they're doing in particular, or to answer specific questions. But this is wonderful. We love this, and when all of you show up and interact, it just makes us want to do it more.
There was a question about getting around the world. Corbez, how does traveling around the world work? All foot-based travel, ?
Yeah, so there will be running. There will also be mounts. But one of the big things, right? So we've talked about this before too, like quality of life is so important to us. There will be many points that you can discover that will allow you to quick travel back to that point. The world is massive. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, the world is really, really big. So like max
uncomfortably
speed,
big.
It's uncomfortably big. Max speed mount, you're looking at like 40 minutes to run from one side to the other on a max speed mount. So it's big. And we don't expect people, like, we can't say we respect your time and then go have fun running for 30 minutes to get where you want to go. You will have to explore, you will have to find things. But after you do it the first time, you won't have to anymore. Unless you want to, which I can say, as someone who has possibly ran around the world most at this point, probably, it's fun to do. It's fun to just run around. It's a beautiful thing.
Ooh, I like this. I like the idea of this. I've teased you about merch before. Will you please make the world map downloadable for some desktop art action? Also, cloth maps when?
Cloth maps when, indeed. So signed cloth maps, a part of Kickstarter. Non-signed ones maybe at some other point, but probably not.
I think we might be able to manage some later.
Yeah, it's like, so here's the thing, and this is it's funny, right? So we're doing this thing, and we have to have so many hats on at any given time. But like merch is not merch has gotten the least amount of thought out of everything else. Like, we think it's cool, but
sorry,
it's okay. There's just so much stuff to do,
Yeah,
it will be eventually, but
the way I've answered this in the past has been, we're really focused on making a game, and taking our eyes off of making a game to like figure out the logistics of delivering physical merch is not making a game. So
yeah, the energy is being put into developing the thing that the goal is put towards, right? Like, diving away from that removes all the speed at which you guys are developing. So the focus is forward. Theodore Elf would like to know, would you be able to move the minimap? And I will expand on that. Is the user interface adjustable, modifiable? Can you create your own, etc., etc.?
Yes, no. Well, yes, asterisk, no. Every user interface element can be moved around the screen. Some will have some ability to like turn different elements on and off. We have some desire, but no concrete plans to have a skinnable UI right now.
It's something that we would like to do, but it's an awfully heavy lift at this point in time. But
yes,
if we have someone and time, would love to have it.
Building, I will say, and I guess I'm willing to say this. UI work is the thing that is the least ahead of schedule.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
I have heard from pretty much every developer I have ever talked to ever, UI work is the worst thing ever. Pretty much every developer I've ever talked to has said, like, building a UI, especially when controllers are involved. And I'll tell you, I did some research on a game to do the controller support, and I thought it was going to be like, I don't want to say simple, but I was going to delve into coding just to try and figure it out. And I will tell you this, it is a mountain to overcome.
Yeah.
That's really the other huge wrinkle when it comes to UI, especially having a skinnable UI, is we're aiming to have Steam Machine, Steam Controller, and Steam Deck as a like top line. Yes, your game is compatible with these things on Steam, and that requires Valve to give certain certifications. I don't offhand know how having a skinnable UI interacts with that, but I cannot imagine it makes it less complicated.
Yeah. I don't even know how you, I mean, you'd have to add like, and that would be so much more. So I'm thinking out loud here, but you'd have to do like an anchoring system of some sort, right? Like you can modify things, but within certain anchors and certain confines.
So the short version is that UE provides some pretty decent tools for building UIs that work both with keyboard and mouse and controllers. The problem is that none of those things really lend themselves to be skinnable. So yeah, it's an ugly technical problem, and as I said, we have a desire to solve it, but it's not the top priority. It's one of those value for effort kind of trade-offs that we need to make early.
Yeah, Fellstrike says that Ozuri loves UI work. I just had to point that out. I don't know. It's a random chatter just out there shooting strays.
Oh, that's wild.
The silence is deafening.
Eloth wants to know, are auras going to be a thing? Something that embodies your class combo, maybe behind an epic quest?
Yeah, so auras... okay, so that question, I don't know if I quite get it. Auras are how we are going to be doing group buffs in general, or like self buffs, many self buffs in general that affect more than just you. Instead of being something that like you put on a target, it just you basically equip the ability and it's always on. One of the classes in particular is focused on them to the point where they have more slots to equip auras than other classes.
Which brings me to, I was actually going to wait on this, but this actually is a kind of a related question. Are buffs from support classes going to apply to minions as well? Or is buffing specifically going to apply to the player? With that, can minions buff each other? And if so, do they stack?
Yes.
I can say at least if a pet has its own pet bar, yes. So maybe not for temp pets, but if it's got its own bar, yeah.
Hell yeah. I've heard Kickstarter mentioned a few times. Is the beta going to be backers only?
You want this, Chris?
I was going to say at this time, but there's probably going to be other ways to opt in depending on what we need and how we do it. We might need more people when we start stress testing. We might need people specifically to test different systems. A lot of it really depends, but I have a hope that we will have more than enough people to do the testing that we need to do from the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
and there's go ahead.
I was just saying the Kickstarter, if you're interested in having early access, having access to the game prior to release, development, during that development cycle, the Kickstarter is your opportunity to guarantee that access at certain times. Not, though there may be opportunities later.
Right. And the way that it works is that if you do back and you do get access to that thing, there are different ways to get in at different times, right? But if you back now, you're guaranteed to get in during those times.
You don't have to wonder or wait and see.
Right.
Lucerin, throwing strays your way. Love you, buddy. A lot of the can we get a trading card pet collection system?
I would love to do that.
It's taking a lot. Can I? Oh,
all right, hold on.
The problem is that was so early, and we haven't revisited. It needs some attention.
Can I'll make general statements.
Hold on. Before you go there, I'm gonna throw one out there for the viewers here. I mean, come on, guys, like achievements, discoveries, hidden abilities, hidden mechanics, hidden fun little things that we can find and collect and put together and trade and sell. Think of the glory. Don't you want to tell us about these wonderful systems? How are we ever going to sleep tonight without knowing?
You're not a nice man.
I know.
So eventually, yes, there will be a thing like that. Assuming everything goes according to plan. It's a personal passion of mine that I actually had to set to the side because we are very aware of what scope creep can do to a game, to the development process. And even though we have some really great ideas around trading cards / card games, that is not the primary focus. The primary focus right now is getting in all of your hands a really fun and engaging game. And once we're there, then we'll have the time and the funds to expand it. But
I've said that I feel like a 10-year like not released yet situation is a failure mode, and one of the ways that you get there is by getting too attached to every cool idea that you have, because there's an infinite number of those. And
no comment.
I would love to be working on this game 10 years from now, but just not as it hasn't released yet. And there will be time for all things.
The goal is not to be Star Citizen. I mean, some game that raised $1 billion.
We're going our own way.
The number of scalps in this genre that scope creep has claimed is mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's I'll say this. As a developer, it's actually a very painful thing to do, but we're all on the same page that we're not going to allow it to happen to us. So even though it's one of the main reasons why I'm not sitting in game fishing right now, right? Because that's not the most important thing, even though, love me some fishing.
Do you want to hear some important things?
Fishing's going to make it, but,
$17,500 raised?
Oh.
$17,500?
Oh, nice.
That's the number.
18K? 18K raised?
Wow.
That's a number.
That is indeed a number.
Interesting. But I feel like we didn't get a really great answer there, so I'm just going to say, okay, since they're shutting down the questions, I have to ask, will there be hidden skills, abilities, passives we can find?
Yes.
There's yeah.
Yeah.
Will devs interact directly with the players in game at times?
I might not be allowed to, but probably.
Probably is a safe answer.
That was a joke, by the way. Just
I
to
would
be clear.
I would be very surprised if not.
Cata likes teleporting players around dangerous places, just saying. Can we hit 20K before the end of stream? God, I hope so. That would be a pretty awesome freaking goal, man.
That's up to you guys.
That's it.
I mean, 18K, like, you're close, and there's 10 minutes left. Can we see this thing up to 20K in the first 2 hours? Good gravy. Yeah, no doubt, right?
That's insane.
Will there be a scaling hard mode style in the dungeons? Just
yes.
the tip.
That's actually one of the pillars of how we're designing the dungeons. So this is a little bit out of scope of that question, but I've seen other ones that are along the same lines. Raids are just bringing more friends to an instance. The scaling that we've envisioned will smoothly work from solo into the largest groups allowed in the instance. Yeah. And since loot is personal, we can there's no issue of having to do wonky things that way. It's about the goal is for you to be able to have challenge modes if you want to challenge yourself. Going back to the content isn't supposed to be gated based on whether you can do it or not with the number of people you have available, be that one person or 12 people. It's how difficult is that content and how you experience it as either a solo or a group player.
A lot of different ways to play there. What's up, Teddy? This is an interesting question. I do feel like this has come up recently. Smorgle Boy, will the game eventually support player modded servers that can be self-hosted?
I probably not, but I don't want to completely close that idea.
I think we can be open with the why, right? Like it would be nice if that were available. We would like to see that, but there are more complications, and it's not just technical, right? There are licensing things involved.
Mm-hmm.
There are layers of complexity that stop us from just being like, man, that's a great idea. But if there's a way to get over those hurdles, that would be a really cool thing to explore.
Yeah.
Cheese them, bro. Huge fan and rooting for you guys. What's your plan for long-term player retention once people solve the builds and content? What keeps Hollowed Oath with that big wow factor?
I don't think people will solve the builds.
I've heard you say that before, but I actually would also say that you said something really good in the Kickstarter video that answered that question, which is that you are character designing, class designing, like build designing is not the right word to use, but like the idea is to make everything valuable so that no one thing stands out above the others. Like the things are equally as valuable.
I think that any situation balance wise where let me back up. There's two angles to this. One is that this is envisioned and primarily scoped as a PvE game, which makes some cross build balancing a little bit less critical. However, if there is something that you can do that is, in terms of character builds, which is obviously and clearly the best thing that you can possibly be doing, that is a problem, and that's a problem that needs to be solved as if it were a bug. But it's possible to do that by reaching for the carrot, not the stick. Yeah.
Balin Collin would like to know, is there a forum for people to help with this project? I'm 18-year full stack developer, and I'd be happy to help volunteer with this project.
So I think, yeah, right.
Colin.
So I don't mind putting this out there. So as soon as the project went live, we received somewhere between 20 and 25 emails from people just reaching out to info@godmodegames.com saying that they wanted to help. We had people dropping resumes. We had all these different things. So if you're, we don't, we have nothing available currently, but we're always looking for good contributors and good volunteers. So feel free to shoot us an email at info@godmodegames.com, and happy to talk it out.
Booyaka. I will say there is about 4 minutes left before 10 p.m., which we planned on ending, and ads are actually going to pick up here very soon. So I'm happy to snooze these ads for a short period of time. We can answer a few more questions, and then it's probably going to be time to...
I would, so then I want to do this. There's something I do want to say.
Yeah, do it up. Just let it rip.
To all of you that are here, to all of the people that backed us already, thank you so much. For all the people that are just here interacting with us, thank you so much. We are so appreciative that you're here for this journey, and we're so happy to have you along for the ride. To all of the contributors, Austin, Brandon, Chris, Daniel, Dominic, Jason, Matthew, Mike, Nate, Nathan, Rachel, Zach, all of you are just fantastic, and I'm so grateful to be able to do this with all of you. So I just wanted to say that, and also shout out again to Collective Imagination and Enhanced Studios. This is a dream. Thank you guys.
Waldstein would like to know if you've considered being less awesome and leaving some awesome for the rest of us.
Negative.
He didn't even, there was like not a delay there.
There was no pause.
It was like, he didn't even have to think about it. My comeuppance to you, sir. That was good. That was impressive. Not a damn hesitation at all.
That's amazing. That's kind of how our conversations go. Like before I even finish my thought, no, I don't think that's right.
That is...
What can I say?
Yes, we are indeed wildly overspec'd.
I don't know what that means.
Yes, me either. Would you like to talk about the mounts and mount system? Can we?
I would love. Yeah. So the advanced mount system is mounts that more than one player can ride simultaneously. This would also mean that small races might be able to ride on the shoulders of larger races. Where's
Goldshire? Where is it? I'm just asking.
Really is that really where you're going with that?
That is where everyone in this chat went to. That is where everyone in this chat went to. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. All right. Did you guys have wholesome thoughts about this, or did you guys have dirty thoughts?
It's Valor's fault. It's absolutely Valor's fault. That said, the lineage system is a prestige system, so that you can retire a character or restart them basically for benefits to every character on your account.
Oh, prestige system, sort of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. That is one of my favorite parts of SWTOR is the legacy system where like you actually build like a bloodline of characters. That is awesome. That is cool. Will there be a focus on deep dungeons and exploration? So saith the Brewman.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Will there be a focus on deep dungeons and exploration?
Oh, deep dungeons. Well,
deep.
So I would like to say yes, but I don't necessarily know. Like, well, no, yeah. So okay, I'll say this. From the gray blocking that has been done so far on the 3 dungeons that are being worked on so far, there is definitely a level of exploration in there. And I am personally like a lot of the things that I have seen are very cool. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of things in there for replayability. But there's definitely if that question is 2 separate things, exploration is also a huge thing. The world is massive. There's going to be goodies for you to find. It's great.
Yeah, just to throw my 2 cents. Dungeons have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They have a narrative that's happening with them. They have something for you to be doing specifically in them. And the intent is for there to be different variants of the same dungeons that that either share zone geometry or use slightly modified zone geometry for different variants. And then, there's the whole in-game version that we haven't really talked about at all. So,
unfortunately,
I have the least.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I have the least amount of influence here on this product, but I would say, just as a general matter, it is absolutely exploration is a side dish, not a main course. If you try to eat that for your dinner, you're going to be hungry.
You can only explore it once.
Yeah, you can only explore it once. And so you really want to make sure that that's not the place where you hang your hat. We have lots of places for you to hang your hat there. But I would say no, the pillar of the game is the focus is not exploration. It is achievement, and part of that will have some element of exploration, but and we will have lots of things for you to explore and for you to find and for you to see. But unless you're going to sit at the bleeding edge of technology where exploration and discovery is its own reward, it's just not a very good place to hang your proverbial design hat as a game development studio. And so we haven't.
Fair. All right, I got to ask this one. Non-combat pets, will there be dogs, cats, things walking around town?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Cry. Geese.
Right.
Oh my God, there's going to be geese. Oh, and here comes the corgi, the corgi brigade.
I expect it also to be corgis.
There is a backer reward for a golden goose pet. Just making sure that's aware.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. The final thing that I'm going to put up on the screen here is why is the facial hair of this team so powerful? Because these mighty men here need everyone to be able to see their glory, their strength, and they wear it on their face.
It's where we derive our power.
That's right. That's right. Boys and girls, can we get a count? Can somebody give me a count on that old Kickstarter there? I would like to end the night celebrating. I'm going to snooze another ad here. Thing's going to hate me. $18,915 in the first 2 hours.
Wow.
Boys and girls, you are freaking awesome. Thank you so much.
Much love, friends.
88 backers. 88 backers at 18,000. That's crazy. CyberSec is the CyberSec certified. That's a good one for later. Boys and girls, thank you so much. You guys are beautiful. You're wonderful. I'm going to leave this for each one of these wonderful gentlemen to say their goodbyes to you and their sweet nothings. And we're going to call it at that. Aporia,
Awesome.
Cata, Azori, would you like to say anything?
Huge thank you to everyone. Love you all. Can't wait. Super excited.
Thank you. Everyone who's still here, everyone who showed up.
Thank you.
You're beautiful guys. I love you all. We'll let you know if there's any type of getting together again or what that future looks like. Be there, be in the Discord to find out. Follow socials. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Cata, Aporia, Ozuri, I thank you for coming on the channel, hanging out with us, answering the important questions about Hollowed Oath, and various other questions as well. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.